Monday was a seminal day in the life of Bitcoin, as Germany became the first country to formally recognise and regulate it. But what does the future hold in store for this controversial cryptocurrency? I'm Monica Gibson, joined down the line by Dawie Roodt, economist with Efficient Group, to discuss. Now, Dawie, Monday's ruling legally makes Bitcoin not quite real money as far as Germany is concerned, but according to some, enough like money that its use is regulated and subject to the rules of money. But does this new concept have the capability to become a global currency, would you say?
Without a doubt, Bitcoin or something else, similar sort of currency, can certainly become a global currency. I think it's important to realize that dollars and euros and yens and even South African rands are not really what they used to be. They are, in fact, electronic currencies already. And in a way, Bitcoin resembles, to a large extent, the modern currencies as they are already. The big difference between Bitcoin and the other currencies, of course, is that Bitcoin is limited in the amount of money that can be, well, let's call it manufactured. And that really makes it very attractive. While other currencies, like, for example, dollars can literally be created and in fact are created on a monthly basis by the Federal Reserve in the United States. The attractiveness to Bitcoin is that there's a limit on how much it can be, how much can be created, and I think there certainly is a possibility that a currency, not necessarily Bitcoin, but a currency like Bitcoin, can eventually become a dominant currency globally.
Would you say that deeming Bitcoin illegal, such as the stance in Thailand, will turn it into a Bitcoin black market?
I'm afraid countries that do ban most things, like whether that is cigarettes or alcohol or whatever, and especially something that is very difficult to control, like, for example, currencies, especially electronic or virtual currencies, I don't think they're going to be successful. It will inevitably lead to a market or black market in those particular countries, and it's a bit difficult, a bit surreal for me to understand how they can try to stop something that trades on the internet, trades in the cloud, so to speak. So I think they're making a big mistake. I think what needs to happen is that countries need to recognize that we're moving ahead and we're moving into a new and uncharted waters, and that you simply have to embrace new technologies, and that includes new way of looking at money, for example. So I'm afraid I don't think they're going to be successful.
Dawie, what would you make of the claims that Bitcoin's prevalence is a sign that current currencies are indeed dying?
I don't think it's really a question on whether current currencies or traditional currencies are going to eventually die out. I think it's happening already. See what happened, for example, in Europe the last couple of years. There's a lot of local currencies disappeared already, and in fact there are a lot of other countries that would like to join Europe to make use of the euro and eventually get rid of their own currencies. I think inevitably what is going to happen over time, if we don't all move to an international currency like, for example, Bitcoin, we will certainly move to regional currencies eventually. It doesn't make sense to have a number, literally hundreds of currencies globally, because it doesn't make practical sense to have so many currencies. I think a currency like, for example, Bitcoin, therefore becomes quite attractive. And inevitable local currencies are already disappearing, and it would have happened in any event, whether we had Bitcoin or not.
However, as Bitcoin gains prominence, it attracts critics who are wary of its volatile exchange rate, making it an attractive asset to impulsive short-term speculators. Is this the main disadvantage, and can it be overcome?
Without a doubt, the fact of the matter is that Bitcoin is a new phenomenon. People don't really know what's going to happen to Bitcoin. It is not really that widely traded. It is very volatile, and I think there are a lot of speculators jumping on and off the bandwagon called Bitcoin. I think eventually what will happen is that if Bitcoin is successful, and there's no guarantee that it will be successful, but if it is successful, of course it will more widely used. Other financial instruments, derivatives of Bitcoin, will become available, and over time it will become a more stable and a less volatile currency. So in the short term, yes, certainly it's very attractive for speculators to participate in the market in Bitcoin, but over time it is likely to become much more stable, and it will become much more widely used as well. So the volatility in Bitcoin in the short term, I think, is not something that we should be concerned about. It should be seen as teething problems.
Dawie, it has been a pleasure speaking to you on this very interesting topic. Thank you so much. Well, that's all from me at the moment, but for many more exclusive interviews, please do click back to Dukascopy TV. Goodbye for now.